What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another episode of Player Ratings. We beat Manchester City by 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday in a game where, you know, we came into it, a lot of Spurs fans were very, very positive. And it looks like they're all right to be positive.
Exactly, in a game where Pep got absolutely Mourinho. Absolutely fantastic tactical masterclass from Jose. Honestly, this game was more to do with the team than it was to do anything else. Agreed. How the team set up and how we approach this game. But let's break it down player by player and see how they did.
All right, let's start with Hugo Lloris. We gave him an 8. I thought he dealt with everything that pretty much came his way. When you look at the stats, you probably would have thought Hugo had a lot busier day than he did. But again, like we say time and time again, it was a bit of a quiet day for Hugo Lloris. He made, as you can see on the screen, it says 5 saves, but I think only 2 or 3 of them were actually really important saves, notably the one at the end from Ruben Dias. But what I want to say, he was very, very confident and commanding from the corners and crosses.
Yeah, really good from corners, which usually we criticise Hugo sometimes because sometimes he can flap at them, but I thought he was really commanding. As you say, the one from Diaz at the end was the only real save where you think that's a good stop. The other ones were pretty ones you expect him to make. The ones where he's able to hang on to the ball. Solid display from Hugo, didn't have to do much, but what he did have to do, he did well. And I feel like we've been saying that a lot this season. And even in the game against Man City, where they have all the possession, a lot of shots, still they can't create too many meaningful chances.
Yeah. Let's move on to Sergio Reguilón. We gave him a 9. I thought it was his best defensive display in a Spurs shirt for sure. The way he was shackled Mahrez out the game, the energy, the aggression he showed. I mean, he's really showing why we signed him. His speed and aggression is just second to none. He did struggle to get past Walker at times, but that's kind of expected. Walker was Man City's best player on the night. But yeah, very, very, very good display from Sergio Reguilón.
Yeah, he couldn't really get forward as much as he would have liked. I think the way we were set up meant that he had to hang back quite a bit. But I thought, you know, in the other games where he's been over-exuberant, maybe you could argue, and a bit over-aggressive, I thought he was well-measured today. Yeah. And I thought defensively he had Mahrez in his pocket, absolutely. Mahrez couldn't really get near him. I thought in the first half, maybe a couple of times there were some crosses into the box where he could have got a bit tighter. Other than that, I thought he blocked so many crosses on that left-hand side, and I thought Mahrez really struggled against him. And he had to cope with the double threat of Walker and Mahrez, and obviously Bergwijn did help him out, but I thought he did an exceptional job.
Yeah, I mean, it was clear to see that he had a specific job from Jose Mourinho, and he did it to perfection, to be honest. Let's move on to Toby Alderweireld. We gave him a 9. The guy is getting better and better and better. We're seeing the best of Toby Alderweireld. Man mountain today, the amount of pings as well, trying to find Bergwijn over the top, especially in the first half. But it's just such a shame he got that injury. Mourinho said it could be a while out, which is quite worrying, to be honest. But when you talk about his performance, Man Mountain, absolutely sensational.
Yeah, it's a big blow. It's a big blow. And yet again, for Spurs and unfortunately for Toby, well, we're building really good momentum and then we get hit by a big injury, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully it won't affect us too much. But Toby being the main centre-back, I feel, or the more experienced centre-back in that partnership with him and Dier, it's going to mean Dier is going to have to really step up in a leadership kind of way and be the more experienced centre-back, because Toby was definitely helping him out through the games. And one thing you can definitely rely on Toby is those Toby pings. They're always on point. Those Toby long balls over top, and especially when you play like we play, especially in this game where we have to use possession wisely when we get it and we have to pick our moments, you need those long balls over the top or to the full-backs or wingers to be absolutely on point. You can't afford for them to be loose and to be turning over possession easily, and Toby was exceptional at that today, and you can always trust that those long balls are going to be completely accurate. But yeah, as I say, big blow that Toby, because he was looking back to his best, so it's a big blow that just as he's looking back to his best, he picks up an injury which Mourinho indicates could be a while. So hopefully he's being pessimistic and it's not too long, but we have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, and as well, just as his relationship and centre-back partnership with Eric Dier is starting to flourish, which we move on to Eric Dier now. We gave him a 10. In my opinion, his best display for Tottenham Hotspur in the 5-6 years he's been here. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, for Toby Alderweireld, Man Mountain, but this guy was like 2 mountains. Literally dealt with everything that came his way. Literally everything. He won every header. How many last-ditch challenges did he make? He was just so hard to play against, and the Man City strikers felt it, and Hugo Lloris, that was a big reason why Hugo Lloris didn't have that much to do.
Yeah. how many blocks did he make?
Yeah,
inside the box.
That's what I said, yeah.
De Bruyne was coming, about to have a shot inside the box. He makes a block. Jesus is going to have a shot. He makes a block. There was one moment where, the moment where De Bruyne has a shot and it hits Gabriel Jesus, and we got a bit lucky. He did get done a bit by Jesus on that one moment throughout the game, but other than that, to which Toby came and had to make a tackle. But other than that, I thought he was absolutely faultless, and I thought he had to really step up today in a game where we've, because the last few games he's played really well, but the opposition, you could argue, hasn't been at the best. And we were saying, once he faces top quality opposition, is he really going to step up, and is he really going to?
He did exactly that.
Yeah, and we were exactly what we were calling for him, and absolutely fantastic by Eric Dier, really positive, and this really was a performance for him to say, look, I'm starting centre back in this team. Mourinho's a big fan of him. We can see why. Mourinho loves him so much. He's really moulding into Mourinho player, and I really hope he can carry on this form, because with Toby being out now, he's going to have to be the leader. He's going to have to be the more experienced centre back, helping Rodon and Sanchez through games, which Toby was doing before. So it's a big responsibility now for Dier, and this is a really good step or indication that he can definitely fulfil that.
Yeah. Let's move on to Serge Aurier. We gave him an 8. I thought defensively he was very, very sound. There were a couple of mishaps in there, but luckily it didn't really come to anything. He gave away a silly free kick, probably in the same position where we conceded against West Ham. And we all know what kind of our history from defending set pieces have been like this season. So that's kind of a markdown. But look, I don't really need to talk about anything negative about Serge Aurier's performance, because I thought defensively he's much better than he usually is. It wasn't that commanding display like we've seen against Man United, getting up and down and putting loads of crosses into the box, but he was much better defensively, and you've got to give props to Serge Aurier.
Yeah, I thought near faultless display. It wasn't quite faultless because a couple. He made that pass across the face of a goal which fell to De Bruyne, who had a shot from the edge of the box which went just wide, which could have cost us. But other than that, I thought he came in for Matt Doherty, who obviously self-isolating. I thought he did a really, really good job, and I thought he was unlucky to lose his place when he did a few weeks ago. And I thought I think he's now come back in the side, and he put in a really, really solid display. And most importantly, no big errors, no fouls in the box, no really silly sloppy play, or nothing fatal anyway. And I thought Serge Aurier really did his chances of being our first choice right back no harm again. And I thought he played really, really well, and I'm very, very impressed. I thought he had Ferran Torres well shackled.
Yeah. Even though he was looking quite sharp, and he didn't do much, did he?
Yeah, Torres was when he got the ball, he was looking sharp, and he did a few nice dribbles. But I thought Aurier
didn't hurt us though, did he?
Yeah, he got back in position really well, made some tackles, aggressive as well, really good, really aggressive, and on the front foot, which was really positive to see. A lot of interceptions, and I think Aurier did a fantastic job.
Yeah, did himself a great service yesterday. Let's move on to Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We gave him a 9. Midfield general. Those two words describe him completely perfectly. 100% tackle, 5 tackles in that. I mean, this guy, he just doesn't give them. He didn't give the Man City midfield a moment to breathe. The amount of times he's just hassling them and harrying them and winning the ball back and starting attacks as well. I mean, the guy just has it all. He's filled a massive hole that was in our team last season, and I couldn't be more happier with him.
Again, another commanding, dominant display in the centre up against De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, up against these world-class players, and he's not just competing, he's dominating, and he's completely getting the better of these players. It's absolutely phenomenal stuff from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So combative in that midfield, not letting the midfielders have any time on the ball, have an inch when he gets to his area of the pitch. And I thought again, Højbjerg really was phenomenal. And he's playing such a high level at the moment, week in, week out, showing how he's revolutionised our midfield. And I think he's really striking up a good partnership with his fellow midfield players. And one of the main quotes he said when he came to Spurs is, "I make players play better." And that's it. And not only is he being phenomenal, but he's also making everyone else play better as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Let's move on to Moussa Sissoko. We gave him an 8. I thought it was a much, much better display from Moussa Sissoko today than in previous weeks, which I'm not saying he's been bad previous previous weeks. I just thought that today or yesterday was absolutely brilliant. The way he the energy and the physicality he shows in that middle of the park, the help he gave to Ndombele, Højbjerg and Aurier. He just does such a great job for the team. 6 recoveries in there as well. One, his only tackle he went in for, 1 interception as well. So yeah, props to Sissoko as well.
Yeah, we really needed him in this game, and I did criticise him or criticise his role after the West Brom game the other week, but I definitely see a clearer what his role is in this kind of game, or why he's in the team compared to games like against West Brom, because he covers every blade of grass, and we just need that energy.
There's no need for him when we play a low block team, but when we play a team like Man City or when we play Chelsea next week, he's going to be imperative. Completely,
and he covers so much ground. You always know as a attacking midfielder of an opposition team that you're going to have Sissoko on your back like a rash every time you get the ball. And I thought he, again, really positive display, helping out Højbjerg, complimenting him as well, and helping out Aurier whenever Aurier did his occasional foray forward. Sissoko was there to mop up on the right back, and I thought he really is settling in well this season. I thought him and Højbjerg are creating a good partnership in the double pivot, especially against these higher quality sides, and I think Sissoko proved why he was in this team yesterday.
Yep. Let's move on to Tanguy Ndombele. We gave him an 8. What an assist that was 5 minutes in. It was a quick free kick, I think it was from Harry Kane. Played it to Ndombele and lovely dink through ball over the top, pinpoint to Heung-min Son, and Heung-min Son does what Heung-min Son does. But Tanguy Ndombele, I thought he was pretty much untouchable in that first half. The Man City midfielders were bouncing off him. He was kind of using them as shields and dancing around them. He really is so hard to get the ball off when you're kind of pressing him. You used the term like Tanguy being press resistant so much, and that's exactly what he is. I mean, the guy is a phenomenon. I do want to call on him to improve his fitness. I do feel like he wilters out of games, which he did again yesterday in the second half. But, that's what our bench is there for.
Exactly. And again, whenever he's on the ball, he's just a touch of quality. It's unbelievable that his sharpness, his ability to just get round players like they don't exist. Rodri is one of the best defensive mids in the whole league, in the whole of Europe, you could argue. And yet he couldn't get the ball off him. He couldn't get near Tanguy Ndombele at times. And not only did he help out on the ball, off the ball as well, he was providing tackles, interceptions. Look at that, 2 tackles attempted and 2 tackles, one more than Sissoko, who's more of a defensive player. Also 6 recoveries as well. So I thought he had a really positive display again. Tanguy, he did tire after about 65 minutes. I do think that's more to do with the amount of effort that Mourinho is requiring him to make, kind of going forward and back the whole time, kind of stretching the play. And I think it was the plan for him to kind of run himself into the ground for an hour, then Lo Celso to come on and stretch the opposition in it. And it did work, if that was the plan. I think it was. But I think Ndombele, again, showing this season, even against one of the best teams in the league, that he is one of the most exciting centre mids in the league at the moment, the way he's playing. And, he outshone all the other centre mids in terms of his on-the-ball play. Yep. He outshone everyone else on the pitch in terms of in the midfield position. His ability to weave in and out of tight areas and get passes off. And as you said, great through ball to Heung-min Son for the goal. And really, again, positive display by Tanguy. He just loves playing against Man City.
Exactly. That is now 3 Premier League assists, all against Manchester City. Yeah. Let's move on to Steven Bergwijn. We gave him a 7. I actually thought it was Stevie's best performance of the season, funnily enough, although I haven't thought much of him this season, let's be honest. But I still want to call on Stevie to do a bit better on his output, on his end product. But I do think that he ran himself into the ground like everyone else did on the team. He was providing a great outlet on there. He was our furthest player forward. Toby Alderweireld was looking for him time and time again, especially in that first half. He did get run into the ground second half and got taken off with around 15 minutes to go or so. But look, I think it was a good display from Stevie and much better than what we've seen this season.
Yeah, and I thought in the first half, especially for the first, say, 15-20 minutes, I thought he was really sharp, actually, really confident, taking people on. He was unlucky not to get an assist when he played a through ball into Heung-min Son, who unfortunately decided to pass it to Kane instead of going for a shot, and Kane being offside. So I thought that was a really good piece of play from Bergwijn there. And I thought he obviously tracked back really well, helping out Reguilon on that left-hand side. Him playing on the left, I thought helped a bit. I thought he looked a bit better on the left than he does usually on the right.
Forget it, that's a natural position as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought Bergwijn was a positive display. He hasn't performed that well this season, but I thought this was a step in the right direction. Although he wasn't the most, he wasn't the best attacker on the pitch. I felt like when he did get chances to get forward, he looked a bit dangerous, and I thought he looked sharp. And he worked extremely hard for the team. And I think he did his chances of playing in the next games following up no harm at all, and I think defensively he probably did the job exactly what Mourinho wanted, and offensively he looked quite sharp, especially in the first half. He did obviously Walter in the second half, but in the first half I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. Let's move on to Heung-min Son. We gave him an 8. Stuck away his chance and after the 4th or 5th minute, just like Sonny usually does. I mean, the guy is so clinical. It's unbelievable. And he is now top goal scorer in the Premier League outright, if Calvert-Lewin doesn't get a goal tomorrow. But as it stands, today even, it stands, he is the top goal scorer in the Premier League. He probably could have got more goals. He took it round Ederson at time, took a bad touch, and then he squared it to Harry Kane when Harry Kane was so obviously offside. Apart from that, he played on the right-hand side, as usually he plays on the left-hand side, but he was doing a good job for the team defensively. It was hard for him attackingly because the kind of ball was a majority in the Tottenham half. Yeah,
and he had to track back Cancelo a lot, and Cancelo likes to get forward a lot, so he had to do a lot of tracking back, but he was the one getting most of the chances for us. And I thought for him to play on the right is not as big of an issue for him or than to say Bergwijn, because he's so two-footed. If he can cut inside on his left foot and curl it into the far corner, no problem whatsoever, and he scored with his left foot. He showed that, and I thought the understanding between him and Kane for that first goal was absolutely exceptional. Kane coming short, and in that split second drawing the centre-back, Son going in behind, getting that yard of space, and getting beyond Cancelo and finishing clinically as he's done all season. The man's been on fire again this season. His good start to the season, carries phenomenal start to the season, carries on again against Man City. He loves scoring against Man City. They must be sick of the sight of him, the way he plays against them. And I thought again he was our most threatening attacking outlet, and he gave City a lot of problems. As you said, should have done better when he went past Ederson, but took a heavy touch. But look, 9 goals, same as Arsenal. Same as the whole of Arsenal.
Arsenal Football Club.
Shows how clinical Son has been this season, or maybe it shows how not clinical some other teams been. But yeah, Son, really good day at the office again for him.
All right, let's move on to the last of the starting 11, Harry Kane. We gave him a 9. Look, this guy takes no shots throughout the whole game, and we're still giving him a 9. That just shows the caliber of player we've got on our hands here. The guy is going strength to strength. If I said to you 2 years ago, Harry Kane is going to be head and shoulders above what he is now, I mean, you would have been like, what are you talking about? Harry Kane, how is it possible for him to get better? This is how it's possible for him to get better. He played predominantly very deep today in the mid. He looked like pretty much a centre midfielder today, but he was up helping the attack when it mattered. He was down helping the defence when it matters. He was in there causing problems for the Man City midfield time and time again. It was his quick free kick that set us on the way for the first goal. He got the assist for the second goal with a lovely weighted ball for Giovanni Lo Celso. I mean, is there anything this guy can't do?
Honestly, he's as we said before, he's the best striker, attacking mid, winger, defensive mid, centre back in the whole team. He's absolute phenomenon. How Jose has taken his game to another level, I will never know. He was at his creative best yesterday, playing a great through ball to Son, who should have done better when he rounds Ederson but takes a heavy touch. But at the end of the day, played a fantastic through ball to Lo Celso, who had just come on, perfectly weighted, perfectly timed. It was a through ball to perfection, and obviously Lo Celso slots it in, and Spurs win the game 2-0. He was again creatively was on point, and he was absolutely fantastic yesterday, working like an absolute lion yesterday, working so hard for the team, tracking back, making tackles. Apparently he made more tackles than anyone else on the pitch.
Wow.
That I saw on Sky Sports after the game. So he's turned into the absolute complete forward, if he wasn't complete already. And absolutely fantastic to play, proper leadership as well, and that's including playing 2 games for England in midweek as well. So to do that on top of that, to work so hard, is something incredible. And I'm hoping he doesn't get injured or anything, because we saw what happened with Toby. But Harry Kane has just been best player in Europe this season. Now 7 goals, 9 assists in 9 games. No one can match that. No one can match that.
Exactly. Let's move on to the substitutes. Giovanni Lo Celso, we gave him an 8. He got a goal with his first touch pretty much from coming on with that lovely ball we talked about from Harry Kane. Took it really well, Giovanni Lo Celso, with his first Premier League goal for Tottenham Hotspur. Apart from that, I thought he was really confident on the ball. He provided us exactly what we needed when Tanguy Ndombele was wiltering out the game and tiring out the game. He came on, added us that extra aggression, that extra energy. And yeah, I thought he was really good. He got on the ball, he was trying to beat a man, he was looking for stuff to happen, and more importantly, he helped us keep the ball a bit more.
Yeah, and I thought was that his first goal, first Premier League goal for Tottenham. So yeah, really good for him to get off the mark. We've been calling for him to be getting in the box a bit more and show his quality in shooting positions and in his goals and assists. And it was a good step in the right direction. I thought he did a really good job coming off the bench. Did exactly what Jose asked for. He loves players who come off the bench looking to make an impact. That's exactly what Lo Celso did, and it follows on from a great international break he had for Argentina. 2 really good performances. And he got injured at the start of the season, but again he's coming back into full fitness now. We're seeing the Lo Celso we saw last season, and it's a really good positive step in the right direction. Hopefully sooner rather than later we get to see the trifecta of Dier and Ndombele Lo Celso. Maybe not just yet with the tough run of games coming up, but I think Lo Celso is showing that he's going back to full fitness and he might be up to the challenge with him and Ndombele.
We could see it at Palace away.
I hope so. I really hope so. I think Lo Celso is coming on
Maybe
again this
Arsenal.
season.
They're a low block team.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It's true. They like to counter. But Lo Celso, look, we sung his praises last season. He's had a bit of a slow start due to injuries this season, but he's coming back to full fitness now and it's being evident on the pitch.
All right. We're not going to give these players ratings, but Lucas Moura and Joe Rodon came on. Lucas Moura came on for 15 minutes. Joe Rodon came on for about 10 minutes. Nothing really too much. Joe Rodon hardly touched the ball. He made one really lovely pass over the top to Sonny, but that's about it. But Lucas Moura, he provided energy in there. He was keeping the ball. Anything too much of note there for you?
No, look, he did his job coming on, helping the team defensively, tracking back, using his pace to kind of track back the fullbacks. I thought he did a good job. I thought he helped the team out when he came on. Didn't really provide too much going forward, but I don't think he was brought on for that reason. I think he's brought up to help sharp. Exactly. Make sure the fullbacks aren't getting the space and crosses in the box and helping out his fullback. And I thought he did exactly what Mourinho asked of him.
All right, and now let's move on to Jose Mourinho. 10 stars, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I thought he played the game to perfection. His game plan worked to perfection. Everything that Jose Mourinho and you kind of like associate with the Jose Mourinho team we showed on that pitch today. Hard working, every single player on the pitch fighting for each other. Defensive shape absolutely spot on. The 2 centre backs literally in the mould of Jose Mourinho. That whole team played in the mould of Jose Mourinho. Subs coming on to change the game. I mean, the plaudits are there for everyone to see.
Absolutely phenomenal tactical performance from Jose Mourinho. Had a plan and the players executed it to perfection. But you can clearly see he's motivating the players really well. Man management is on point at the moment. He's really getting his mentality into the players. And, he says there's a famous quote after Inter Milan played Barcelona. He said they could have played for another 3 hours and not scored. And you know what? In the second half, it looked the same yesterday. He looked absolutely the same because Man City barely had a chance in that second half. We defended so aggressively and so well, and we looked just more dangerous than City when we had the chance to go forward. And the difference between this game yesterday and the game maybe last year at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when Bergwijn scored in his debut is you play that game 99 times out of 100 we lose. This game, I really believe you play this game 99 times out of 100 we still win the game every time. And I was so impressed with the way Jose got his team to set up. We showed again that our defence is really improving and the solidity of the team is really improving, really getting to grips with how Jose likes to play and his tactics. The defence is really coming along now, which everyone said was our big weakness. Jose's really coached the defence to be able to defend properly, and to shut out Man City like we did yesterday to the extent that we did it's no mean feat. It's very, very impressive. And you've got to say Jose takes so much of the plaudits, the way the squad is shaping up as well, and for the future. Look, we've got to keep our feet in the ground and we've got to take every game as it comes at the moment, but this really hard run we've got coming up now, it's a great start, all 3 points against City and the way we won it.
Jose is going to be relishing the clash against
course
Chelsea this weekend, isn't he?
For sure. He loves the big games. He absolutely loves the big games, and he showed it again yesterday. He relishes them, and he knows that we can go in with different tactical plans, but at least we have a base of how to win. And even if we aren't got a lot of possession and things aren't going our way, we still have that defensive unit to hold out, ride a storm, and break away. And I thought it was so impressive, so impressive.
All right, so there you have it. That is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree with our ratings. If you do not agree with our ratings, let me know your player ratings, as Tottenham have beaten Manchester City by 2-0. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs!